Welcome back, viewers. Today we are here with another session of Thoughts of Education with a very special guest. So, without wasting any time further, please welcome Dr. Hafiz Basha, who is the Director of Technological Business Incubator at Lord's College of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad. A very good welcome, Dr. Basha sir. I welcome you on the entire team behalf of College Dunia and our viewers. So, before we start with your interview on Thoughts of Education, please can you give a small introduction about yourself?
Hi all, this is Dr. Hafiz Basha. I am the Director for Technology Business Incubator at Lord's Institute of Engineering and Technology, Hyderabad. I started my career with corporate companies. I worked with few multinational companies and then I switched from corporate to academia. I got scholarship from Japanese government, so I was able to do my PhD from Japan. And that is where I got an exposure to startups and incubation and this kind of opportunities for students. And after coming back to India, so actually that was the right time when entrepreneurship gained momentum across the country. And even Government of India has started so many schemes for startups. Now almost more than 10 government departments are having schemes, both institutional funding as well as direct support to startups. The Ministry of Education itself has made it mandatory for all the educational institutions to have their own incubation centers so that the ideas from students can be harnessed. Then I have myself served as advisor and expert at several government agencies related to the entrepreneurship and startups ecosystem. And prior to joining Lord's, I was the CEO for Technology Business Incubator of Chandigarh University. And after joining Lord's, I am taking care of all the responsibilities related to startups, then innovations, and we produce entrepreneurs from our campus.
That's very great to hear, sir. I think the viewers also could relate to it that you have such a huge exposure. You have done your education with the Japanese government. You have visited so many countries. So, before moving on to our topic, I would like to personally ask you that what has been your source of motivation? Like you had such a good corporate life there when you did your education. You might have easily ended up yourself as a big position of some big MNC. But what was your source of motivation that you thought of choosing academics rather than the corporate job out there?
Actually, when I was a student, I was having immense interest towards research. And at that time, there was lack of facilities and we never had proper mentoring or guidance given. But still, we were able to make out. Like we always believed, like when there are no opportunities, we have to create opportunities. So we have just followed it. And during our engineering itself, we were into research, we were doing paper presentations, and that is how the journey actually began. And when I was in my BTech final year, I started my own company, and that is how my entrepreneurial journey started. So I was like working full time, and then I was also focusing on my higher education, and then having my own startup. Like I was able to do it simultaneously. And after going abroad and visiting so many countries, like I'm very happy to share that I have visited more than 13 countries without spending any money from my pocket. And not only that, I have a track record of delivering more than 70 guest lectures at reputed institutions. So this was the main motivation. Like I wanted to pass it on to the students, and especially after I got Dean's Award for Research Excellence during my convocation of PhD in Japan, and when I was traveling back to my home country. So I had a vision that I should produce at least 10 students like me who can achieve at a very young age. So with this, I got into academics and I was able to mentor few students, and already I have 2 success stories.
That's very great of you, sir. It's very inspiring at the same time that when you had this gloriful moment in your life, and at the very same moment you had a dream of at least producing students who are capable enough up to your knowledge. Moving ahead with the interview, the moment when I was entering in the college, I could see a corporate facility just at the entrance. So, could you speak? And the word itself, TBI, Technology Business Incubator, sounds very interesting. So, could you speak something on that to our viewers?
So this corporate facility, what you have just seen, is a co-working space for the startups that the college has created, where students come with ideas, and if the ideas have the potential to become a startup, so we incubate them through proper process where we conduct some cohorts, and then the selection happens, and finally we pick up few startups. Once the startup is incubated with us, so the startup will get some benefits. Like first of all, there is a seed grant that is planned both from the management as well as we get it from multiple sources outside. So the seed grant is given to the students. With that money, they can at least make a minimum viable product, like some prototype or something like that. And most importantly, what we offer here is mentoring service. So not only internal mentors, we also have external mentors who are industry experts. We also have few entrepreneurs in residence who come here and stay here with us and guide the students with their personal experiences. And not only that, we have regular networking sessions and we connect them to right people, to the right organizations. And not only that, the startups will be able to begin with their business while pursuing their studies itself. So they can run their office here at our co-working space. And then finally, once the startup is ready for scale up, then we introduce them to the investors, where they will be pitching their idea, and if the investor likes it, then they go ahead with the actual business. So this is what happens here. And not only that, we also have a IP facilitation center where students can apply for patents. So there are a lot of government schemes that are available, especially Startup India, where the entire expense of applying a patent and all that is covered by the government. So we facilitate that in this facility. So it's exclusive facility for students, whoever are interested to become entrepreneurs and they have started their own companies.
Okay, sir. I think based on your response, I could get an idea that not only from the academic point of view, but you're also you want to train the students from the entrepreneurship point, right? But how do you encourage or motivate for this challenging aspect? Because I assume that most of the students, even when I was a student and I did my engineering, every student dreams of at the end of a day having a good job. So how do you channelize or motivate the students in choosing something which is more difficult, not only difficult, but interesting, I would say at the same time?
As rightly said by you, more than 90% students, they always prefer to get into some job, and hardly 9% people, they think about higher education, and very, very few, I think less than 1% think about starting something on their own, and that 1% is what makes the difference. So earlier days, placements used to be the criteria for most of the colleges, but now the trend has changed already. Nowadays, everybody are asking like how many startups the college has produced. Even the recruiters who are coming for placements, even they are recruiting the students who have started something on their own, because they believe that the students will take up some responsibilities, and rather than working as an employee, they will be like intrapreneurs within the company. So that is how things are now working, and we have a very active entrepreneurship development cell. We call it as E-Cell, which is like most vibrant student managed and student handled club. So E-Cell takes care of encouraging the students towards entrepreneurship, and then a lot of awareness programs are conducted so that students can consider entrepreneurship as one of the career option. So the students who are enrolled in this ESL, they get that first-hand experience, and then they will be groomed in such a way that slowly they will start thinking differently, and then they'll come with some innovative ideas, and those ideas can lead them to startups. So this is how it functions.
Okay, sir. I think the students over here at Lord's Institute of Engineering and Technology have been encouraged to come out with something of their own. So my next question would be, sir, how do you channelize, or how do you keep them, the students who are here, motivated to choose something that is completely different? So what degree of autonomy and up to what degree of support are you people or your team here at Lord's is willing to provide the students?
Actually, here what happens is the innovations begin at department level itself. Because the students are into academics, they are here with the sole purpose of studying and getting a degree. So once they graduate, they want to have a story behind, like apart from their graduation, apart from getting a degree, they even have a story to say what they have done in their 4 years of engineering. So at the department level itself, the head of the department and the professors who are there, they mentor the students from the beginning itself, and they try to identify students, and they will motivate them, and they will guide them in the relevant areas of technology and their respective areas. And finally, the students, they do some work and they come up with innovations, and the students are allowed to go out and participate in several activities. So we have a Institute Innovation Council, which is started by the Ministry of Education, Government of India. They themselves conduct this Smart India Hackathon every year, where lakhs of students participate and they exhibit their ideas. And we really appreciate the government initiative, because what they have done is they have first approached the industries, and they have asked for the problem statements which they are facing in their day-to-day business. And those problem statements are given to the students, where students, they try to apply their minds and try to get some solutions to those problems. And the students, they participate in such mega events, and once they go through this process, at least they end up with some internships with those industries which they have chosen. So entrepreneurship is no more a what we say career option. It is like a part of a journey for every student.
So, sir, you said about some of the government guidelines or initiatives also on which the college has been focusing and trying to help out the students. But my next question would be that you have a good strength of students here at Lord's. You have a number of students who are studying, and definitely out of the aspects that you spoke about, you also might be getting a lot of responses from the students' end. So the thing that I would like to ask you is that you, as being the director head of TBIO here, how do you categorize or finalize the students with their projects and taking their dreams ahead?
So every student comes with their own ideas, and it is their idea, so obviously they love their ideas. But whenever they come with an idea, we try to put that idea in a framework where the evaluation of that idea happens. Like idea is there, but frame is ours. They have to put their idea in our frame, and we need to evaluate whether this idea will go to next level or not. Because the student will be spending his time, energy, money, and so many other resources on it. And at the end of the day, after spending so much, the student shouldn't get disappointed. So at the early stage itself, we ensure that only the ideas that can go to the next level will be taken up for incubation. And that is how we filter the ideas. And those ideas will be given proper mentoring. And with that, the next level of innovation happens, and the student comes with product or service, whatever it is.
Okay, sir. Sir, my next question would be, as we are also facing this unprecedented times, wherein the effects and post effects of COVID have completely disrupted almost every service and businesses out here. So, at these times, how do you ensure that the flow of information or guidance that is being given to the students is not hampered, because the government of Telangana has recently closed down all the colleges and institutes. So, how do you ensure a hassle-free transaction and a guidance that is being provided to the students over here?
We are very lucky that we are actually living in the age of technology. Otherwise, if the same pandemic would have happened some few decades earlier, the scenario would have been different. But in today's technology age, so I don't think so much impact has happened. As rightly said by you, a lot of education institutions are closed to take measures, safety measures for students. But nothing has stopped actually. Everything is just moving on as per plan, as per schedule. So even the classes are being conducted online. The projects are being done online. So students are able to contact their supervisors, their mentors through online mode. And coming to the startups, this has created a new opportunity actually. Earlier, there used to be a challenge of physical presence where a person cannot come to a certain place due to some travel issues and all that. So those hassles are not there now. Like a person can make himself or herself available from any place, any point of time. So that has created a new kind of opportunities actually. In fact, to be very frank, there are so many new startups that have emerged out of the situation. So it's all about technology.
Okay, sir, that's very good to hear that the team and you yourself over here at Lords are moving ahead with time and are really prone to change, because in this dynamic world where nothing is for sure and everything is for granted, so it feels very good to hear that something different is being done for the students at this level, wherein most of the engineering colleges just stick to a book-based syllabus. So I think this is not only something which is different, but at the same time the students also are able to get some sort of industrial exposure, because when they want to come up with something of themselves, they also need some kind of an industry exposure. So is this thing also being catered to the students who show interest to this kind of a program?
So what is happening here is the students who have started their own companies, they are now recruiting their juniors by offering internship opportunities. So the junior students are working in the company started by their seniors, and that is how they are gaining some like internship kind of experience. And then as they move on, that experience is helpful to them not only for employment but also for his own journey of entrepreneurship.
Okay, so I think the students or the people who have just are about to complete their higher secondary examinations and are willing to look up or join a course such as engineering, they also might have got a clear idea. But I think it would be very unjustified if we do not talk of the success stories, because we talked a beautiful journey how the people at Lords are supporting the students, especially in the field of entrepreneurship and technology. So can you speak a few of the success stories that you have produced here at Lords College?
Obviously, any initiative should always have an outcome. So we definitely have some success stories. And to just name a few, I can say we have students who have gone to the level of becoming TEDx speakers and then getting featured in Forbes 30 under 30. And a lot of students have gone and participated in some challenging events like hackathons. And then they got recognition from so many government agencies, including the NIRD and MSME and so many other prominent institutions. So we have a lot of success stories. Students have created their presence. They have appeared in newspapers and a lot of television channels, and a lot of success stories are there here. And moreover, the college has now started new programs which are more relevant to the current trends, like subjects like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science. So these are the new courses that are introduced, and the college has started offering those programs. And Lords is the only Muslim minority college in both Andhra Pradesh and Telangana to have status of autonomous, and then a lot of credentials like NAC A grade and NBA accreditation, getting listed with UGC 2F, and so many other recognitions. So a lot of success stories are there. So the institution is progressing, and definitely the students who will join our institution will prosper with a lot of success stories, and we will make it happen.
Okay, sir. I think it was really inspiring, and at the same time, I assume every student who wants to take an admission, end of the day, he believes to get a good environment and a place where he is into safe hands. And by the words that you have spoken and the success stories that you have shared, I definitely think that there is a very professional team which is very dedicated in shaping the careers, the future of the students who are willing to join. So before we end the interview with you, Dr. Basha Sharad, what would be the valuable piece of advice that you want to give to students who are looking to get an admission into the field of engineering?
So, in most of the occasions, the most usual advice which I give to students is like you just try to understand how things were there in the previous generation. Like the students might have noticed with their own parents when during their times a lot of things were not there. Telephone was not there. Like mobile phones were not there. But now just if you look at them, like they have upgraded themselves. They are now using mobile phones. They are now able to operate their smartphones. So they have upgraded themselves. So similarly, the students should try to upgrade themselves to latest technologies. You cannot stick on to the old things and cannot progress in that way. And not only that, I even suggest students that they should start thinking out of the box, and they should do something innovative, like not in a usual manner. So this could be my way of
Definitely, sir. I think the students, not only the students, but also parents who will be watching this session, they will also getting an idea that a clear mindset along with and positive energy to which is adapting to change, that is very necessary in order to succeed, especially for a student at these times. So before we end, I would like to thank you once again on behalf of entire team of College Dunia and the students and parents out there who are willing to grab a piece of information. And I wish you and the college a very best. Thank you, sir.
all the best. Thank you.